Talking brain, enlightened minds, seeking out truths, seeing the world with the mind of those who see beyond the three-dimensionally. Souls, talking brain, ask the right questions, uncovers the blinds.
Hey, hey, hey! Welcome, welcome everyone. This is Souls Talking Brain on Being Love TV. I am Roni Lipstein and this is my double goddess,
Aline. Welcome, everybody. Today is a fun day.
A fun day.
A fun day. It's a fun day. It's a fun day. And if you've just happened to have fun today, well then it's just your fun day. Day.
Why is today such a fun day?
Well, today is a fun day because we are going to be talking about the importance of play. The importance. That's why it's a fun day. Because it's important to have fun.
Oh, is it now? So then you would say that play and fun are synonymous.
Synonymous. Synonymous, you mean the same thing? Well, kind of.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
So why would you say that fun and play are so important?
Well, let me take a deep breath. First of all, we live in this world. This world that is not necessarily the easiest world to be living in. I mean, it can be, but it also can be quite hard. And there's a lot going on in our world. There's a lot going on from everything that we are living under a specific system in our day-to-day, the hardships that happen, the work that you have to do in order to survive. You get the gist. You know, life consists of a lot of serious things. Now, our health and our well-being is crucial to living this life. Why do I say crucial? Because if you are not healthy, if you are not well, if you are not happy, so on and so forth, then this life, that's already a little bit difficult and challenging.
In some people's opinions.
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, is, what was I saying? Is crucial.
Yes.
To go forward back, that
it's
crucial
need
to maintain a sense of light and play, because that contributes to your well-being, to your health, to your mental state, to your psychological well-being, to everything that it is that you do,
and if you're
therefore
not healthy,
achieving everything that it is that you require. So, yes, through health, yes, absolutely.
Well, if we can just backtrack for a second because you got lost, yes?
Well, yes, I was trying to rewind to what I was
basically
saying.
what you were wanting to say, I think, is that if we aren't healthy, this life, which can at times seem to be to some difficult, is essentially impossible, hence the crucial statement, because without your health, you are incapable of doing, right? So from a very generalized statement,
yes,
we need to be healthy in order to be able to do the day-to-day activities, whether they're fun activities in our estimation or not.
Yes,
we need to be healthy. And then your second point, I think, that you were leading into that was that part of being healthy is ensuring that we have a good amount of fun and play in our lives.
Yes.
Are we all there now? We're all up to date. Okay. So we've caught Aline's little sidetrack, and we're all back on track. And talking about the importance of play and why having fun in our day-to-day lives is important to our overall health and well-being. So you were saying it is important, which is great, but I can say that stress is important. So why is play important to our overall health and well-being? Why is play crucial to ensuring that we are maintaining a state of homeostasis, of optimal health, so that we can be making the choices that we want to be making in our lives, to be living the lives that we want to be living, so that we can say that they're not difficult, but they're great.
Well, play in many ways. When we are first born, right? When we're first born, the aside from having to be fed and cleaned and maintaining our health, we become children after being infants, and then what children do is we play, and then eventually, like, the playing sort of gets lesser and lesser as you grow into adulthood. Correct?
For some.
We're hoping that it doesn't.
But
for
most,
all, but for most it does.
Yes. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Play is pretty much essential to your health as eating well and exercise. Play is a state of beingness. It's a light beingness. It's an optimism. It's an optimism of your beingness. Therefore, allowing yourself to be active, a lot more active when you are playful. When you are playful, you are lighter. Maybe perhaps even more. Yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on.
Well, maybe we need to define play, because you just made a statement regarding play that you're very active, but for some people, they can sit down and play a board game, and that's playing.
Yes.
And other people can play video games, and so play, I think,
I guess
takes
we need
on...
to do, yes. Well, I mean, obviously it is important to define what it is that we're talking about when we're saying play. When we're saying play is kind of like when you're not working.
Except that for some people, work is play. Well,
then, oh my goodness, you've landed gold in this lifetime. Like, hello. It's supposed to be. Supposed to be in the sense that, according to us, we say it's supposed to be. Life is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be. So, it's not, it's because, it's not supposed to be hard. But it is hard. But we can help it if we have the choice to make it the best life that we can live. Then play, as opposed to doing something that is more serious, allows for a much more expansive, energetic flow within ourselves, as like an energetic flow within ourselves.
If I'm hearing you correctly, what you just said was that play is... unlike work, which is very serious, so therefore play must
unless
be,
the work is, as you said, if the work is play, which is great.
You use the word serious. So for you, play is not serious. It would be more casual, not as important in its seriousness.
Oh no! I would think I would definitely take play very seriously.
Okay,
I know that kind of contradicts itself.
Yes.
But yes.
But not.
Yeah.
So maybe I can take a go at it.
Go at it.
So from my understanding of what you're saying, you were basically explaining play as being something that's more expansive. And perhaps when you were stating that work is more serious, it's more low-key concentrated, more linear,
Well,
perhaps.
imagine if you're doing your
Not
work.
as-
Let's say you're doing your work and you're actually playfully doing your work. You're having fun doing your work. You're enjoying doing your work. You as opposed to like stressed. I would say stress more so. Like if you're doing something on a serious level that you're stressed or uptight or nervous or
So play is more relaxed.
yes, which allows for a lot more expansiveness. Not only that, but imagine in work when when you're playfully. I'm not talking about woohoo, I'm gonna go play with my work. It's your attitude and your beingness of how you do something definitely affects the result of what you are doing. Okay. Right? Not only just the result and the product of what it is that you are accomplishing, but also your beingness in how you are being on a day-to-day basis, and therefore how you are being with the rest of the world that you're interacting with.
Okay. So, in your opinion...
In my opinion.
How is one being when they are being playful versus, like you mentioned, that work is more serious, it's more stressful, it's more uptight. So play is more free, it's more relaxed.
It's in the seriousness, a lot of people, we work, let's say, or we have a lot of work to get done, or we go to school and we're studying, there's a lot of stress and anxieties perhaps, or uptightness. Now, all these things, what it does, and this is just known, it's just physical facts, factuals of our biological makeup, is that stress can cause physical harm.
Dis-ease,
right? Yes. So anything that is uptight or nervous or more stringent is not healthy for your well-being, physically, emotionally, psychologically, on every level. This is known. So
I would say there's a divine, delicate balance
between.
Well, because it has been shown that certain levels of stress.
This depends on what it is. If we're talking about something that you are determined and you've got this goal and you're focused, for example, that's like a drive. That's different than stress. It's a different type of energetic vibration. Correct. Right. So when we incorporate play. It doesn't necessarily even have to be in your work. It could be anywhere, in any aspects of your life. And you're just being in your home, and you're just being in your own space, and you're being with other people. Incorporating a playful way, a lightful way of your beingness as opposed to, sort of robotic, definitely increases the amount of energy that is required for your well-beingness. That is what we are trying to achieve in this world, is to gain energy, because it does. When happiness and excitement and all these things are energy that is released from the brain and goes to your body, and your body is happy when you're excited and you're happy. So it's the same, in that same breath, it is important.
I think also, if going back to what you said earlier regarding work and stress and being uptight, that even if one were to bring play and fun into the workplace, that would also connote a certain level of go with the flow type of mentality. So there's a lot of uptight stress, negative stress that we encounter when we are trying to accomplish something in an exactitude, and we're trying to make sure we get our deadlines met and we get things done as they have been asked to the perfection of them being asked. Whereas with play, there's a little bit more give and take. There's a little bit more flow. So if it doesn't look nice this way, then we can try it that way. And it'll be fun to adventure and go this way, as opposed to getting so uptight and angry, disappointed and hurt that things didn't flow that way. Right?
Well, it also...
So play would therefore connote a more easygoing mentality. So it's more relaxed.
Not to say that you're going to take everything that you're doing as a joke. We're not saying that either. We're saying in taking everything into with respect, with focus, with determination. But playfully in the sense of, yes, more flow, because at the end of the day, the experience of what it is that you're doing changes enormously,
as does the output as a result.
Exactly.
Right.
And
So,
and also how it's received. I mean, how it is also affected onto others and to the rest of this world.
Right. So, for example, we live in a world right now that is largely based on commerce as opposed to play. And so most people in their average day are thinking about commerce, right? They're thinking about what they can do in the economic field, right? In how are they going to make money? What are they going to be bringing to this commerce? How are they going to afford it? So on and so forth. And that takes up a lot of one's day, which can cause an enormous amount of stress as a result, because it is, as Aline had started out the show talking, it is very prevalent in our world today. So it's not a world where, for example, we know that as human beings, as a species, and even actually in the animal kingdom and other kingdoms, most infants, young children, as we are growing, the way that we learn the best is through play. We learn about our body parts, we learn about the alphabet, we learn about spelling, mathematics, with song and dance and play.
And this is how we are raised in this world. I mean, there's obviously there's something to be paid attention to here. I mean, why is it that way? Well, that's because it's a lot of things as children. It is definitely it is embedding within us a lot smoother the things that we are learning. It's actually flowing through us a lot smoother. It's being accepted easier and smoother. So and then therefore being taught faster and more effectively.
Right. So one of the things that we would like to bring to the foreground is the idea of incorporating more playful, more fun manners by which we may continue to live our lives, even as we mature and wisen, and not to be losing sight of our inherent intuitive means of learning.
That's right.
And being. As these have been shown to be truly one of the best means for us to expand, whether that be in our rote information and material or in our consciousness on a more expansive level, more cosmic level, being able to amass information and wisdom and knowledge through experiences that are playful pretty much gives you a much higher percentile chance of that information actually being retained,
sticking in, yes,
and then implemented into one's day-to-day living.
That's right.
And of course, having that implemented and having greater wisdom and having it coming in on such a positive way positively affects everyone who is interacting with that individual.
Correct. Because
they are coming from a place that is more expansive, on a lighter, more positive perspective.
Which is just it's a common sense, actually. You know, it's also seen, it is also witnessed, it is all around the world. When the many studies have even been done when they've had a task that was given, and they had this group who were doing this particular way, and this other group was just having a little bit more fun, with the ones who were having a little bit more fun and playing definitely succeeded a lot more in the tasks that they were provided.
Right.
So it is just as important. The same way as we talk about the different importance in life. The importances, so many different importances in your life is your well-being, loving yourself, right? First and foremost, loving yourself. This is the first one. And loving yourself comes with A, B, C, D. And that being your health, your food, your environment, your experience, how you're doing, what you're doing, all of that. And that, one of them, is play.
Right. And so play is something that, like exercise, for example, if we get very busy, is one of the first things to go, and one of the last things to be brought in.
What the
play, things that are done.
One of the first things that go
self.
when we're growing up in this world.
When we're growing up in this world, if we get busy, you know, you don't stop eating necessarily. You don't stop taking care of your kids, but you might stop exercising.
Yeah.
Right? You might not go out with your friends or go for dinner or
more activities.
More playful, fun things, because you've got to, you know, the commerce thing comes into play.
Right.
We've got to make sure that we're doing what we have to do.
Right.
And so those things drop to the sideline first in most cases, and in most cases are last to be reinstated. So,
well, I mean, that could be an argument that it makes sense in the sense, right? You know, some people, they need this, that, which is much more important as play, because, you know, they have to go to work and they have to do this and they have to do that. You know, they have to.
Except that did you not just say that
Yes,
they are just as important?
It is just as important.
So then,
but actually,
you can't say that it makes. It doesn't make sense.
No, you're right.
From that perspective.
You're right. Thank you for bringing back that to me in my own mind. It's not that it's more important. It should be incorporated with whatever it is that is required to do.
So that was what I was going to say, is that, for example, to me, in my opinion, play and ensuring that we are making time in our lives for play is just as important as making sure that we are making time in our lives for exercise, is just as important as making sure we are making time in our lives to spend quality time with our children, our family, and our friends, is just as important as making sure that we are making time for play and fun, as much as it is that we are making sure that we are getting our work done.
Exactly.
And our responsibilities are being fulfilled.
Exactly.
And so as much as, yes, I can understand how they are the first things to drop or the last things to be reinstated, we would like to purport that it is our humble opinion that these are things that should be ensured are a part of one's day-to-day living, not the last thing that we are looking to. That they, in fact, are just as vital, if not in certain instances more so, because we live in this world that is so skewed towards commerce, that we have to be that much more vigilant about being not vigilant.
It's very easy to get lost in a day-to-day. It's very easy to get lost in this world and the system that we're living in. You know, it's so easy as it is to blink your eyes. Bing, it's gone. Where am I? Fun? Play? What do you mean? You know,
but it's just as easy to keep it in your day-to-day. The same way that you make sure that you have to get up at a certain time so that you can have your shower, get dressed, have your coffee, and get to work on time.
Well, certain parts
you
of the world
also make sure that you have that within your day scheduled.
Well, I can give you an example. You know, different parts of the world is different for different people, yes, but it's not just different for different people, but it's also different depending on where it is that you're living in this world map. You know, for example, I lived in war. I lived in a war country.
And yet you still had the ability and found the ability to have fun.
But it's interesting, though, because I lived in a war country, and pretty much your day could be the last day that you're living. You're surviving. You're doing what you can. You're getting what you can, work, this, that, food, this, that, whatever. But you're living in a war that you're only provided a specific amount, that you're allowed to actually go and maybe see some of the people and some of your friends that you can see. Then immediately the play aspect of fulfilling that in your life, for me, when I lived in a war country, was so important to ensure to give time to. Okay? It was so much more. Now I'm living in a country that is peaceful. There is no war here. it's calm, it's whatever. And I realized, but because it is that much more, there's definitely more work. There's this, there's that. You have to survive. You have to go to work. You have to make sure that you're getting this so that you can pay your bills, etc., etc. Well, it's very easy, I find, that play kind of goes on the back burner because it's just mundane things as opposed to a big thing that, I was living in war where it's like, no, it was part of the day, the same way as you go and you wake up, you have to ensure that you're
So you're saying that in order for you to have been able to appreciate the importance of play, you had to be put into a situation where play was taken away from you.
No, I don't think so. I don't know, because I have definitely lived, through, even in my childhood, I lived in a country where, yes, there was definitely conflict, but then the war became more and more. But I didn't put play in the back burner. I always wanted to play. I always knew innately that play was important, but that's me. But I also was able to see a lot of people who were not as such. For me, yes, I lived in a peaceful country, then I lived in a war country, then a war became even worse, and then I moved, and so on and so forth. Play was just as important for me. But what I can see is that when your day-to-day life is in a country that people are more just peacefully living, it's easier. It's very easy to get lost in the day-to-day details of your life, like, you have to go to work, you have to take care of your family, go to school, or whatever it is, all those things. It's easy to get lost in those things and then get tired and it's done. And, well, where's the fun in that?
Well,
in some ways...
But then that's your perception.
It's my perception. It is.
Because for those people, for some people, within that day is a whole whack of fun.
Yes.
So that's your perception of what fun is. Like, for example, for me, when I'm doing my exercise, sometimes let's face it, I'm like pushing myself. But it's also, for me, a very centering and relaxing time in my day. The same way that people who do meditation and mindfulness and ceremonial rituals go for walks, walk their dogs. People who go, they have their lunch break and they go out with their coworkers for lunch, and it's not anything fancy schmancy, and it's not a big party or anything, but they're getting out of that atmosphere and they're socializing and they're enjoying, and that's fun, and it's playful, and it gives them the vitality that they require to go in to work, to go back in the afternoon and accomplish what they need to. So I don't think you want to be so narrow in our definition of play and fun that it has to only happen in certain situations, under certain circumstances, and in certain ways, and it should be incorporated.
It should be incorporated in everything that you do. It should be incorporated in every single thing.
And it can be.
Yeah.
Right? That is what you started off saying.
But it's also like, are you consciously...
But isn't that the point that we're making today?
Yeah. It's just being conscious of what it is that you're doing, every single thing that it is that you're doing. It doesn't matter what it is. What it is that you're doing is to be conscious of how you're going about what it is that you are doing. Which makes the difference. Which makes all the difference.
The importance and the weight that you're putting onto it as well. Right? Because, again... If, there have been so many times that I've been in and out of the corporate world, and every time before I go in, I always try to remind myself they're all going to get stressed out over the smallest things that are so meaningless. And please don't let this happen here, right? Yeah. Because... there is a way to be able to go in and maintain that detachment that allows for an openness to see the light playfulness of everything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But again, living in a world that is a world that is predominantly based on commerce, does cause in and of itself a lot of stress, because when we are on the job, for example, working for someone else, and we are wanting to maintain a detached level of awareness, we are wanting to maintain a light playfulness, and we have deadlines to meet, and the boss is freaking out because we're not meeting the deadlines, you can't really go up and go, oh, it's all going to be great, honey, don't worry about it. Because there's this fear that you might get fired.
Yes.
And if you get fired, where are you getting your money from? And then how do you survive in this commerce economy?
Well, we're not saying that you should be like, oh, fun, play every 5 minutes, every 5 seconds of your day. I mean, my goodness, if we could live like that, that'd be great. But that's not what we're saying here.
Well, I don't know if that's not what I'm saying. That's maybe
but
what
of course
you're not saying.
But it is just being conscious and allowing for a playful manner of attitude and mindset in approaching what it is that you are doing, how you're approaching everything that you're doing. It is important. And sometimes we need reminding. Just like, you need to remind yourself that you need to exercise. Just like you need to remind yourself that you have to eat. Just like you need to remind yourself X, Y, Z. This right here, and this is what this show is dedicated to, is reminding ourselves the importance of play. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
La la la. Being love.
Being love. Being love.
If you would like to be part of Being Love TV, whether it be advertising, sponsoring a show, or suggesting an idea, or being a guest on our show, get in touch with us. Aline is going to magically...
You're so funny. Just like,
make the email appear. Thank you.
Seriously.
So get in touch with us here at beinglove@oneisall.com if you would like to discuss advertising opportunities, sponsorship opportunities, being a guest on our show, suggesting a guest on our show, or any ideas that you might have. We look forward to hearing from you, and we always get back in touch, so right now.
right now. And on the topic of play, I love this image behind us. It's like, wee! I mean, that's somehow how you're feeling on the inside, It's an expression of wee, jumping up and down. The importance of play.
Yes.
As we are coming into the second part of the show, what else did you wanted to point out?
Oh, I thought you were about to point out something.
I guess, there you
Sorry.
go. I'm pointing out at the play.
So I think we've shown two things that are important that maybe we should just make a delineation regarding.
Delineation?
Yes, a more crisp delineation regarding. So there's the one aspect which is actually incorporating play unto itself. Where however play is for you. I don't think that there's a right or a wrong definition for play, as long as it causes no harm to self or others.
I would think it's like what would be it? We should have looked it up in the dictionary. What is the exact definition of play? Now that would be it. That would have been nice. I would say it's just a lighter form of being.
So, whatever play is for you, there is the one aspect which is ensuring that you are incorporating strictly play-like activities that are just all play. So, for some people that is exercise. For some people that is walking your dog and playing in the park. For other people it's going out dancing, it's going so on and so forth. Whatever it is for you,
actually,
there's the one part where we're saying that it's important to ensure that you are participating in activities that are play activities in accordance to what you determine them to be. And then there's the other part that we were talking about, which is the mentality, the consciousness of play, which is something that we can take with us even into our most serious of experiences. And to me, that brings up the inner child, which I feel that a lot of us lose touch with.
Yeah.
And the inner child that we are more in touch with on a regular basis is the temper tantrum inner child.
The temper tantrum child?
Yeah,
the child that's
I'm not getting my way, I'm upset, you hurt my feelings, the insecurities and the fears. There's that part of the inner child, but then there's also the inner child who sees things through awe and wonder.
Right.
You know, children, when they're looking at things, they're looking at them with a very novel perception.
It's totally
everything.
Like, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a, you know, there you go. That's another. On, I guess you can make anything have its own meaning. We put meaning into everything, right?
Yes.
I mean, we put the meaning. We put the meaning. So in this respect, it is what it translates to you, and how does and at the end of the day, how it translates to you. It should just make you feel good. So whatever words and descriptions that you have, whether you incorporate it in what it is that you're doing or how you're thinking, or in your conscious beingness, in your mindset, how you're looking at something, then it is also feeling good.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
Yes. So that is not dependent upon any activities that you're doing per se, as much as it is on you.
Yeah.
Right? And what you're thinking and how you're choosing
where you're at and
to perceive, receive, and respond to life.
You can even receive everything that you like, something, whether it's work, whether it's communication, or something that you're receiving, objects or whatever. You can even receive through play.
Yes.
So it's, I mean, we can go into everything, and obviously we can go into everything, and we have a show about every single thing about this world almost every week. But focusing on play, I think, allows for a lighter flow of whatever it is that we're doing.
And
I think
you
it's
had
more
mentioned...
conscious. I think it's good just consciously to maintain that on a conscious mindset, because you don't want to take away. We're not trying to say that we have to take away the seriousness or the focus or the determination of something. It's not taking away from that. It's just you're adding. You're just adding. It's like salt and pepper. You know? And if you were Italian, you would add some olive oil and some vinegar.
So you were saying the other day when we were talking about the show, how for you, when you give yourself the gift of being able to be playful, whether it's when we're working or going out or what have you.
Did you hear that, by the way? Did you hear that? I give myself the gift of playing. When you said you give yourself the gift.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all give ourselves that gift the same way that we give ourselves the gift of eating.
It's just really sweet to point out that our lovely Roni Lipstein here likes to say that we give ourselves the permission. We allow ourselves. You know, yes, we do.
Yes. Right. So, that's the point of the show.
Yes, I just wanted to make note. I just wanted to make note of that. You know, I'm giving myself the permission to play.
Yes. And you were saying that when you do that, it actually gives you an impetus to do more.
Oh, yes.
And that you find that when you are filled with this energetic flow of good feelings, of play, of fun, of lightness, of that inner child through the grace of the wizened adult that you are, that it actually propels you to achieve more in life, in the life of commerce.
Exactly.
That we're living
That's
in.
the trick. That's exactly the trick.
Okay, so can you
build
say
the confidence.
Few words?
It builds confidence, and when you build the confidence,
how does it build confidence?
How does it build confidence?
Yes.
People day to day don't necessarily feel good about themselves. For example, I'm just going to give one example. People don't feel good about themselves. People don't like the way they feel, the way they look, the way whatever. you know,
we're very hard on ourselves.
We are really so picky human beings.
That's a nice way of saying it. Okay,
yeah,
yes.
we really are.
Okay.
So when we're not, you know,
when we're playing,
we are not focusing on the things that is making us, because we're feeling good. So it's,
right.
So right away, the feeling of is being replaced by a feeling of
Right.
Right. So then,
that boosts your confidence.
That boosts your confidence.
Okay, can we just review that for a second? So when you're playing, because you're feeling good, your perceptual reality is one that is focusing on the good things that you like about yourself, as opposed to dissecting all the things about you that you don't like. So therefore, you are lifting yourself up because you're feeling good, as opposed to judging yourself.
Putting yourself down.
Because you're not meeting the standards that you feel you need to be meeting. So you've lifted yourself up. You now have the confidence, which gives you the impetus, the motivation, and the inspiration to do the things that you should be doing.
Yes.
But and enjoying it.
And enjoy doing it.
Right.
And not only that, and perhaps even succeed at what it is that you're trying to do and doing. You know, there's a saying, when somebody is cooking, or a chef is cooking, or, you know, you go to someone's home, oh my goodness, this meal tastes amazing because it was made with love. Well, the sayings like that don't just come out of nowhere. I mean, although kind of they do, because we really might have come from nowhere to now here. When you are giving whatever it is, that energy that you are putting into whatever it is that you're doing or being, the result is exactly that which is what you put in.
So basically, I think what we're saying here
is...
I think. Going back to the inner child.
Yes.
When we allow ourselves to play, and we are therefore not focusing on our stresses and strains and so on and so forth, and we're focusing more on the things that make us feel good.
Yes.
We are actually getting in touch, not just with our inner child, but I'll throw another descriptive adjective at you, our authenticity. We are, as you said at our midway point in the show today, we are massaging the state of self-love.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes.
Because we are putting ourselves into situations where we are allowing ourselves to feel good.
I like that. Chico's quoted, play is massaging. What is it? What did you say?
It's massaging the state of being of self-love.
Massaging the state of being
of self-love.
Of being of self-love.
Yes.
Nice.
It's not exactly.
No, yeah, I know. It's getting there.
Anyway,
but I like that.
I'm sure I've written it at some point.
Then
just
Listen.
So yes. So one of the reasons that we're doing the show today, that we've actually dedicated an entire show to talking about the importance of play, is because it really is that crucial, as Aline was saying earlier, to the vitality of our lives, of our well-being, of our ability to collaboratively co-create the things that are our authentic desires. It makes it easier.
Yes.
Because we're feeling good. We're focusing on good things. We are in a higher spirit. So motivation is increased.
You're giving yourself a boost.
Increased.
It's a boost. It's a boost. You know, you drink that beautiful just orange juice in the morning, or whatever it is, like that green juice. It's a boost. Play is a boost.
Right.
It boosts you.
Except that it boosts you all within oneself. You're not having to take anything outside into self.
You're feeding it.
Even if you're not participating in activities external to your day-to-day life and your responsibilities, so on and so forth, having that mindset where you are looking at everything from a more playful attitude, where you are looking at things the way that a child would look, which is with gratitude. They are so awestruck by the most simplistic of things that they see in this world. You know, the cliche, when was the last time you stopped to smell the roses? But seriously, when was the last time that you stopped and just looked at the vibrant colors that are all over nature? It is amazing. It is outstanding to see the metallic colors that you see on the regular Canadian pigeon, which is really a dove, by the way. Anyways, but like fish, glowing, sparkling, flowers with such brilliant depth of color. And as children, we look at these things with such awe and admiration, such gratitude and inspiration. And we can be doing that as adults. We can be doing that in the workplace. And obviously, we're not, as Aline had mentioned earlier, walking around and skipping and singing, you know, if you're happy, clap your hands. But there is an attitude within one's beingness that brings us to this place of still calmness where we have the space to allow ourselves to actually be not only participating, but objectively observing the experiences that we're having and choosing to objectively observe from this place of awe-inspired authenticity, of fun, of play.
Fun and play. On that note, check this out.
Radiating love. Do you remember how the song goes?
No, I don't think we even released that.
No, we didn't release it, but we did start recording it.
We did.
Anyway, sorry, I can't sing for you right now because I can't remember how the tune goes. But you can tune in March of 2015. We will be coming back to you live with our sister show here on Being Love TV, Radiating Love, with yours truly. And we will be incorporating a brand new aspect to the show, which are live call-ins, where you can get a mini session with me, live guidance from me for free on the show. And of course, we will be sharing with you all the details regarding that once we go live in March, so stay tuned. Do we have the address for people to go to so that they can stay tuned for when the show comes up?
We have, which address?
I think maybe the Being Love, the Facebook page maybe?
I am not sure at this moment.
Okay.
But we can also, you can also stay in touch with any of the things that it is that we are doing here at Being Love TV.
Perfect.
Through Souls Talking Brain on Being Love page on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/souls.talking.brain. And sure enough, like the page and you will be able to keep up to date with everything that we're doing.
And participate. Please remember, not only is Radiating Love Show a live show, and not only will you be able to call in there live and participate, but Souls Talking Brain is a live show. We are sitting here right now doing this,
right now,
to you,
live to
and
you.
There is chat.
Unless you're watching this later, then we're not doing it right now.
But there is chat and social stream by which you may participate and be part of the show. You can ask us questions, you can make comments, we share them live with everyone, and this way we get into a nice communication and dialogue with you so that you can also have a voice here on Souls Talking Brain and share your insights, your ideas, your opinions. That's why we're here. We're many, many souls talking brain,
Talking brain.
about life, about the physical.
Yes.
And how do we best navigate ourselves in this world to honor that which is not physical, that which we can't hold on to, the intangible, like the consciousness of fun and play, like self-love. How do we physicalize, do we ensure in this physical experience that we are doing our utmost to be love?
And speaking of the recorded shows, everything that is recorded, the live shows that are recorded, goes up on our YouTube channel. So please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's going to be a plethora of many, many, many more videos that's going to be uploaded very soon of our many, many past videos as well, which you will get to see all the, I think it's 4 or 5 years now almost. So you get to see the progression and the process and the journey of being Love TV and the shows that we do. So
And
check
share.
it out. It's actually on the page right now, so just go to youtube.com. It's Souls Talking Brain.
Yay! More ways for us to play. Yes. So, is there anything that you can suggest as we're getting close to the end of the show? I was hoping that we might be able to make some suggestions to people in how to incorporate play more into your day-to-day life. How can we do that better?
I think first and foremost you have to start to allow yourself to start with poking fun at yourself a little bit. So
That's a great suggestion.
Because to me that's where it all began. So if it was helpful for me and it could be helpful to you, this is just one way, just one.
Yeah, but it's a great suggestion. That, we were talking, one of the first things you said was not to work is so serious. Well, the first place that you don't want to be too serious is with yourself.
With yourself, yeah.
Yeah, and that affects everything else.
Yeah.
That's a nice suggestion.
Yeah,
I like it. Yes. Okay. So poke fun at yourself.
Just
be silly with you.
Be silly with yourself. So it starts with all self. Again, it all goes back to the self. So just the way you see yourself. Allow yourself to. I say poke fun at yourself. The things that you're not, because it's so easy and it's so quick for ourselves to quickly point out the things that we do not like, for example, and that we're not happy with. Well, maybe start with those things.
Okay. So give an example.
Okay, so. Let's see. Sometimes people have they're shy, right? And sometimes this is just one thing. Someone is shy. They're socially awkward.
She's talking about me. She does. Of all the examples, I asked her to give an example. She doesn't talk about herself. She's going to talk about me.
Well, I am talking about myself.
Okay, go ahead. Socially awkward and shy, yes.
Well, I'm talking about myself, actually. I was unaware of how to be publicly. I was a little uncomfortable, maybe shy, or perhaps unsure and insecure, or somewhat in the ways that I was being around people, friends, or just out in the world. And so the things that I was not happy about, I actually dissected them and laughed at them. And by doing it to myself first, and looking at myself at those things instead of being embarrassed.
So what would be one specific thing? Just because I want people to really be able to identify with what you're saying so they really can understand and implement in their own lives. So if you can give just one specific example, I don't care if you want to use
English wasn't my first language. And so when I first started to learn to speak English, I obviously wasn't speaking very well. So I'll give you one example of I switched schools. I went from one my mother tongue school to an English speaking school, and so I didn't know English very well. And first day of school, it was a little girl. I was about 9 years old. I walked in and it was lunchtime, and I could read a little bit, and I saw like some of the sandwiches that they had, and I saw this one sandwich, and I was like, okay, you know, I'll take that, and can I have the bologna over there? So in that moment, I am not feeling confident about English. That's one thing. I was new in school. I was like a brand new kid. So all these discomforts and all these things that I'm feeling embarrassed and insecure about. And I actually say the word of the sandwich wrong. I say bologna sandwich instead of saying bologna. So, and then I had a whole bunch of people laugh, and that was it. I was like, yes, that's quite funny. Bologna. There you go. So
you laughed with the children instead of...
with myself. I laughed with myself, at myself. Instead of, oh my God, what did I do? And these people are like, it's a very simple switch.
Very small, very subtle.
It's so subtle.
So subtle.
And it's so in your control. It's so in our control. It is.
I wanna really highlight that again. And it's so subtle. Mm-hmm. Like we've been talking about making fun and having fun even when you're at work.
Yes.
And not walking around like a complete buffoon, but still having this mindset.
Yeah.
Which is this very, very small shift.
It's so tiny, yeah.
So it's not even necessarily perceptible to somebody on a physical basis, but on a mental basis, on a level of consciousness, it's so grandiose that you go from potentially running away, peeing in your pants because you just got so completely embarrassed, to making a whole whack of new friends because you're laughing with all of these people and enjoying it instead of crying or
just exactly. So that particular aspect of
great suggestion. I love it.
Starting with just amusing and playing with yourself, allowing yourself to play, be playful with yourself, be able to take things lightly with yourself, joke about, pick on yourself, you know, poke fun at yourself, laugh at yourself, and start with that. This is one way that you are able to incorporate a more sort of conscious mentality of playfulness with respect to all the things that you're doing in your day-to-day life.
Which ultimately
just opens the
self-love.
Yeah, yes.
Right? Ultimately, what we're talking about with respect to the importance of play is self-love. And what we have found is that self-love equals success.
Right.
Self-love equals... infinite abundance and prosperity and positivity in one's life.
It's the ultimate divinity, the divine happiness, which is exactly what it is that we're all wanting. That, I guarantee you, we all want, for sure. Right?
Authentically. That's how we start off. That's how we learn.
Because it takes care of everything, you know. You're happy, it takes care of everything. How you feel takes care of everything. Right? All of it. So... importance of play? Yes, it is important to play. I think so. That goes down into the books of important things to do.
And there you have it. So, from birth to rebirth, play is definitely the way, and we look forward to playing with you again very soon. Soul's Talking Brain will be back again in March, so we will see you all then. In the meantime, please enjoy all of the recordings of our past shows on our YouTube channel, Soul's Talking Brain. And if you want to get in touch with us for any reason, beinglove@1isall.com. Until then, blessedly be. May your days, your nights, your beingness be filled with fun play in every way, always. Talking brain, enlightened minds, seeking out truths, seeing the world
questions uncovers the blinds. Souls, talking brain, enlightening minds, oh yeah, seeking out truth. Souls, talking